Hey, welcome back. My name is Brian if you are new to the show, and we do reviews, previews, playthroughs, and have conversations on our favorite board games. So if you are interested in that, please consider hitting the subscribe button and joining the Game Brigade community. So today in the show, I figured it'd be kind of fun to do a Iss Vanguard Pledge Manager explanation deep dive. The Pledge Manager just came out today, so I thought, you know what, let's talk about that. Iss Vanguard came out in December, so it's been a while since this campaign has been on people's brains. Normally, Pledge Managers come out like every, I would say 2 months is when they usually launch, 1 to 2 months after a campaign ends, sometimes just a couple of weeks after. So being at 4 months plus since the campaign has ended, this might have slipped some people's minds. So one, this is a reminder that the Pledge Manager is now open. And two, the late pledge is also open. So if you are interested in jumping in the late pledge, this is now available. If you have not gotten the email from Gamefound, you can also just go to gamefound.com, click on your profile up here, and go to Back Projects, find Vanguard, and then the campaign will be available for you to edit your campaign or add add-ons, pay for your shipping, whatever you need to do. This is also a way for you to late pledge if you're interested in adding in Iss Vanguard to your collection. For this video, I am going to do a little bit of an explanation of what Iss Vanguard is. I think a majority of my viewers know it, but there might be a few of you that haven't or have some additional questions in terms of what they are. So we're going to briefly touch on the gameplay, and then we'll talk about what the Pledge Manager looks like in terms of what you should order, what I'm going to order. I already filmed this video once, and it didn't have any audio. So I had to go back and, well, I'm doing it right now. I'm going back now and doing this video a second time. So let's make sure, hopefully this video has audio. So off the bat, we have Iss Vanguard. What is Iss Vanguard? Iss Vanguard is by Awaken Realms, who, funny enough, for 2020, I had 2 games that were my top games. The beginning of the game was Nemesis. The beginning of the year was Nemesis. Second at the end of the year was Iss Vanguard, both of them by Awaken Realms. These guys like to make epic, very large thematic games, which is right down my alley in terms of what I like to get out of a board game. And Iss Vanguard is going to be a space epic akin to like Mass Effect. I think that's the best explanation I can give you. The main draw to this game is going to be the story and less on the gameplay. Now, we've had some time since the campaign's ended. Obviously, they got some more time before the game ships. They could be improving the campaign gameplay wise, but a majority of it was going to be dice management, dice selection, things like that, for the entirety of the 30 to 50 hour campaign. But what was really interesting is the way that they're going to be bringing in the voice acting and the world building as you go in with your different types of specialists for your ship and diving into the personal relationships of those characters that you have. So that's kind of the draw. We're going to actually, I wish I could just go back to the original campaign by clicking this button right there. So what I want to talk about, this is a great picture actually for what I want to talk about. What made this game different than other games, it's going to be utilizing binders and books for a majority of the gameplay. You're going to have one that's going to be the ship book, is where you're going to have your bridge, your engineering, your recon, barracks, everything that you would imagine to be different sections of your ship, and you're going to have your crew slotted in there to do different types of tasks. And then for the gameplay, instead of having tiles or a hex grid or different types of normal RPG-like scenarios in terms of how you would play the game, you're actually going to have this book, this binder book, and you're going to be placing your miniatures on this, and you're going to be following along these stories. And based on the movements and the things you do, you'll be removing these dice and trying different actions and trying to complete things. And your decisions on this will be impacting the way the game goes, the way your crew responds, if they're injured, if they're killed, different types of things. So again, the choose your own story, building this world, making it your own is going to be a very heavy part of this game. What I wanted to show you with this picture is that the miniatures are they're big in this game in terms of a lot of people are going to want the miniatures, but they're going to be playing a lighter role than what we normally are used to in a game like this. It's going to be just basically moving back and forth upon this little binder. And some of these minions or monsters, in the realm of other Awaken Realms types games, some of these monsters you might not ever encounter. You might only see them once. The encounter might be very short. So understand that you might have this massive monster, which I have no idea what this gentleman is, but you might never actually fight him. I don't know. He might never even come out based on your gameplay. So know that the miniatures in this game, it's not like other games where you're going to be having hordes of goblins running at you and you're going to, use those to kind of bring yourself into the world that way. These are more of to bringing to the thematics to show you the different types of creatures that are there. It's a different way of bringing in that kind of space theme. So that was that. So we can actually go back to, 1 second. So we can actually go back here and talk about the pledge. So the biggest difference here I want to talk about, one of the biggest difference, I don't know about that. We've got the core pledge. This is going to be the base game as well as any stretch goals. They're kind of being a little misleading here because they're not showing the stretch goal box alongside, but if you scroll the way down, they got it hidden back here in the ultimate all-in pledge, so it makes this look even grander than it is. But this does include the stretch goal box, and this will be shipping in August 2021 if you are interested in that, but we'll talk about shipping later. And then we have an option for Sundrop. Sundrop is going to be a wash. That's a professionally done wash that is basically Awaken Realms' coolest thing that they do, I guess, that's unique, is that they have this thing called Sundrop. It's a different type of way of bringing out the textures and the details of a miniature that is not so easily done by other companies. There are teams and companies who have done washes, but the ones that I have personally gotten have been very poor and amateur. So you can do washes yourself if you want to do a wash to bring out the details of a miniature. You can also do the Sundrop if you're looking for it to be professionally done. Now, if you are planning on painting your miniatures in any way, do not do Sundrop because it would be completely pointless and you're going to waste some money. So we have the core pledge. We have the Vanguard pledge. So this is what I had pledged originally. So if you could see my original pledge, you would see that it was an ISS Vanguard pledge. It included the second box, which is the miniatures box. So if we click on this, we can actually take a look at the Close Encounters box. And basically what this expansion does is everything that is a standee or a token to represent different types of creatures in the game, you are going to be replacing those with full-fledged miniatures. I am a big person in terms of bringing myself into the world. I want to see the creatures that I'm fighting against, and that's what this box is for. So I'm really looking forward to that. Even the landers, I mean, these landers are super cool. This dragonfly is one of my favorites. Oh, this one is really cool. I'm not even going to attempt to say its name, though. As well as the different types of habitats and mission equipment that you can get on the board. These are entirely cosmetic, so this is not going to change the gameplay at all. But if you're looking for that cosmetic add-on, that's what the Close Encounters expansion does. Again, you can get that in Sundrop, and you can start seeing the price here is increasing exponentially based on the level you get. So now we have the Dreadnought all-in pledge. Now this is what I ended up getting here, $249. It's going to include the two things we've already talked about, but it's also going to include two more expansions. The one that I'm most interested in is the personnel files. So not only are we going to have our crew that we're going to be dealing with, the personnel files are going to be bringing in more personal backstories as well as the motivations of what our characters are going to be doing, as well as unlocking the veteran status. So being able to get your crew not just leveled up, but getting them to a veteran, so they're going to have a more additional abilities. I think that's super, super important, especially in a game that's going to be so character driven. So important to have the characters' personalities and everything like that. Personally, I think this is a great expansion. $16 is a great price for that. You're also going to have the Deadly Frontier. This is going to be adding in additional scenarios. So if you're looking for more gameplay options to get more out of your game than just the core campaign, that's what this is for. I think this is a great add-on. There was a lot of stretch goals that we had that added a lot of additional scenarios as well. So you could take a look at those and see if you really need additional content. I think personally I'm okay, especially when I'm going all in with the Close Encounters box. I want to get as much out of this game as possible, so I'm all in on the Deadly Frontier. Now you can get that in Sundrop as well. You can see the price difference there. I personally selected the Dreadnought Pledge. They do have an Ultimate All-In Pledge. Now I want to make sure people are aware that this is Sundrop, but this is going to include everything that you can get in the game available, as well as the Sundrop variants for it. So you'll get all these Sundrop, as well as any of the expansion add-ons Sundrop as well. Now, I really do wish that they had an Ultimate All-In Pledge non-Sundrop, personally, but the fact that they didn't actually saves me money and ended up me not having to buy things that I technically didn't need. So I thank you for that, Awaken Realms. You saved me about $200 by not including an Ultimate All-In Pledge. So what I did is I clicked this, add the pledge. Once that's added to your pledge, you're then able to come down here to add-ons. When you're in the add-on section, you can add on individual items. We already have these. We don't need to add those on. But these are the things that are in the Ultimate add-on or the Ultimate Pledge that we could technically add ourselves. We have the Galactic Almanac. If you are interested in a book for art design reasons, this is a great option. I will say if you are a person who likes to resell or have a collectible piece that for monetary value reasons, the almanacs, the books, the art books, they don't generally sell as well. There's not as high as demand of people wanting these. They usually just want the gameplay. So if you buy something like this, it's going to be for you. It's going to be for your personal collection. So expect that, for $20, it is high. I personally did add this to my collection because I like having these hardcover books personally, but that's just me. You also have these section boxes. These are going to be for each section in the game. So remember I talked about the engineering, recon, stuff like that, where you're going to put your cards in there. You're going to have their specific dice up here, and it's an all-in-one enclosure. Now they do state that there's going to be one already, something that's going to work in the core box as it is. But if you're wanting something a little bit more fancy, this is an option. I have not yet added this to my pledge. I'm still on the fence. It's $40. It's pretty expensive. You could probably find people doing something similar to this with 3D printers. I don't own a 3D printer nor have any access to one, but I suspect that this will be commonly done by people, maybe without the magnets, whatnot, but that's something to check out. The next section that's also available are the section pets. Again, purely cosmetic. They are just going to be additional pets. They say 4 section theme alternative pet models you may use to replace the generic pet design used in the base game. These are not for me. I don't really care for these, so I did not back them. I did get the cats, though, in Nemesis, so I'm not against stuff like this. It didn't speak to me in the same way that the cats did. So then we have the sleeves. Now I generally don't recommend purchasing sleeves through a campaign. This is $85. It's pretty expensive for sleeves, but you're going to get a lot of sleeves, and they're 100 microns thick. So those are going to be the more premium thickness sleeves, less prone to tearing. I personally went out on Sleeve Kings. I have a whole bunch of sleeves coming in, so I'm going to be leaning on that pretty heavily for my sleeving needs. So I'm not going to be doing this. I could see someone, if you are looking at this and saying, I don't want to go through the hassle of making sure I have purchased every type of sleeve I need for this game. I just want to one click done. I know I'm going to have all of my sleeves taken care of. I could see someone doing this. I just don't think it's worth it monetarily for me. Then you have the Iss Vanguard playmats. These are a set of 4 unique playmats to help organize the play space. I did go on this one. I felt like the playmats are going to be helpful for me. I like that they have the sections broken down, so I did go for the Iss Vanguard playmats. Now here we have some upgraded dice. There's 70 dice in this one. These are going to be more of the galaxy shaded dice. In the prototype copies that they sent out to reviewers, they included unique dice that everyone was in love with. And then when the campaign went live, they had these kind of average dice, standard dice, and people were very upset. They wanted the space dust effect that we're seeing in the prototypes. So that's what this is for. You're going to be getting 70 high quality 2-color acrylic dice with the galaxy effect. $25. I think for $70, getting this many dice is actually, or $70, 70 dice for $75 is not too bad of a price. But remember, this is completely cosmetic, and you are just getting these already in your box. So again, make your decision. I did add that to my campaign. And then we have the ISS Vanguard posters. There's nowhere I would be putting these in my house, unfortunately. And I'm not going to pay the money to get them framed, because getting framing and matting is way too expensive for me. So no. ISS Vanguard Dice Tower, I think this is incredibly cool looking, but not something I'm definitely going to need. So, and plus I got a custom dice tower coming with my game table, so I'm going to go with that. So this is something, again, these are all things that come in the all-in. And like I said, originally I was clicking this. I was going all in. I was down. But without having the Sundrop option, I said, well, maybe I'll just kind of pick and choose. And by picking and choosing, I'm no. So thank you. I saved myself a lot of money. The final thing, if you did not do painted the Sundrop, man, had a brain fart. If you haven't done the Sundrop, you can actually have your minis painted professionally by the Awaken Realms painting team. I think this is an incredible opportunity, but I do not have $700 to pay to have someone else paint my minis when I can paint them myself. And I think that's part of the enjoyment for me, is painting. But I definitely think this is a really cool example of what something you have an option of doing. Again, really depends on who you're, what you're looking for. Not for me. So that was that. The final thing I want to talk about, and unfortunately we can't see this here, they do have a thing called 2-wave shipping. This is something that Awaken Realms routinely does. So when you click on an item, you can see when these items ship. Of course, I can't. Oh, here we go. This add-on ships in 1 wave if you wanted to. But if you want to get the stuff earlier, you do have to pay a little bit more. Otherwise, you're going to get everything in 2022. So I think it's slated for April 2022. Right now, the 2-wave shipping is the first wave will ship in August. Most likely, you're looking at November, I would think, realistically. But they're aiming for August. So if you're wanting all of your stuff as fast as you can, you do 2-wave shipping. The problem with that is could be some stretch goals that are going to be coming in the second wave, as well as some expansion content. So if you're a person who doesn't mind having to wait to finish the rest of your experience, 2-wave shipping is fine. Personally, me, when I get the game, I want it to be complete, because I want to, go through the experience. I want to go through all the campaign. I don't want to miss anything, because if I play the game now, what is my motivation going to be in 6 months to 8 months when the second wave ships to finish playing all that stuff? So personally, I didn't do the 2-wave shipping. The only one I've done 2-wave shipping on is Nemesis, for the last Nemesis one, and that's because I wanted the original Nemesis content. I was like, I can get the original Nemesis content now, play that, and then when the second wave ships, it'll be the new Nemesis content, which is totally fine for me. So hopefully this video was helpful for you guys. Let me know in the comment section down below of what you guys think. This is obviously something new for my channel, but someone commented actually on my original ISS Vanguard video and said, late pledge open. And I was like, thank you for reminding me. Maybe I should cover that. So this was kind of out of nowhere. I decided to do a little bit of coverage. And the fact that I was originally in the first video, I was like, we're going to go through this together. So you can kind of see the process. Unfortunately, I checked out and paid for everything and then went to edit and had no audio. So I was like, oh man, I got to do this again. So here we are. Again, thank you for watching till the end. If you made it to the end, let me know. Do a hashtag ISS Vanguard. Let me know if you made it to the end, because you guys are the real OGs. Otherwise, hit the like button, support the channel. I really appreciate it. If you want to join the community, down below we have the Discord channel where you can talk to me as well as other community members about new Kickstarters. We've got fitness in terms of weight loss goals, board game general, as well as just general chat. So if you just want to chat, we have that all down below. If you want to help me to make this kind of like a full-time career, which would be incredible, I have my Patreon as well. I would be greatly appreciated if you checked it out, and let me know if you wanted to support my channel that way. Thank you guys again. I will talk to you all very soon.